Y'all, Jamie Foxx is reportedly holding secrets that could bring down some of the biggest names in the industry, including JayZ, Beyonce, and Diddy. And those A-listers are allegedly doing everything they can to keep Jamie quiet.
Are you hanging out with Diddy? What are you doing?
I mean, yeah. Popped out the town car with a camera. Said, yo, Puff, yo, you gotta let me film this. The whole thing, we need to document this play.
So what exactly are these celebs so afraid of? Well, buckle up, because this tea is piping hot.
Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored.
According to former music exec Choke No Joke, there are rumors swirling that Jamie's recent health scare, which landed him in the hospital, wasn't a random event. Choke claims industry insiders are buzzing that Diddy may have orchestrated the whole thing. The story goes that Jamie attended one of Diddy's infamous parties where he allegedly saw or recorded something he wasn't supposed to. As a result, Diddy and his security supposedly confronted Jamie, leading to a violent altercation that put the actor in the hospital.
He caught Jamie filming, allegedly, or whatever. They told Jamie to chill. He didn't chill, and allegedly Diddy and security beat Jamie ass, and that's why Jamie was in the hospital, allegedly.
But here's where it gets even juicier. Choke says there's speculation Diddy may have even drugged Jamie, causing his sudden illness. And the most shocking part? During a taping of his upcoming Netflix special, Jamie himself hinted that Diddy was behind what happened to him, even claiming, "I'm the one who called the FBI on him." While some in the audience thought it was just part of the act, Choke insists Jamie was dead serious. As a comedian himself, he says he can tell when someone is joking and Jamie wasn't.
Jamie Foxx states in the special that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he is the one that called the FBI on him.
Now, to understand what's really going on here, we need to go back to when Jamie was first linked to Diddy's wild parties. For years, there have been crazy rumors about what goes down at these exclusive events. Some say it's not just about the music and fun, but that there's a much darker side. Insiders have long whispered that Diddy uses these parties to exert control over his famous guests, either through blackmail, influence, or worse. And Jamie? He was apparently a frequent attendee, which made people wonder what exactly he witnessed behind closed doors. According to rapper T.I., Diddy once allegedly made Jamie play a game of naked basketball at one of these parties. Yes, you heard that right.
If you want to know who was probably at these games, just look at who P. Diddy and Jamie Foxx have been hanging around for years, especially the super successful one.
Can you even imagine? Diddy's parties are clearly on another level. And it seems Jamie was down for the wild ride. He reportedly embraced the naked basketball challenge.
He would invite over a lot of Hollywood's elite to his house for a basketball game, but it was men only.
But this apparently wasn't Jamie's first crazy experience at one of Diddy's parties. An old clip resurfaced last year of Jamie himself spilling tea on an even wilder night.
Big cannon, yo, Puff, I should document this shit, right? Yo, what's up, Playboy? what you talking about? I said, no, I should get this, man. You, Fonzworth, whole nine. He says, yeah, let him through.
Back when Jamie was still an up-and-coming entertainer trying to break into the music biz, he went to an exclusive Diddy party in Beverly Hills, and of course, he brought his camera, hoping to document the epic night. When Jamie asked Diddy if he could film, Diddy was all for it. But this was no ordinary party.
What? You spent $1.5 million on this party? I said, you come to my house, I'll throw you a party for $400, and it will rival this.
The bash reportedly cost a staggering $1.5 million, and the guest list was stacked with A-list celebs rolling up in luxury rides. Jamie followed Diddy into the lavish pool party with his camera rolling, and the first person he caught on tape, none other than Dr. Ruth, the famous celebrity therapist. Jamie managed to get her to have an impromptu convo with Diddy right then and there. But the real highlight of the night came when Dr. Ruth and Diddy hit the dance floor together, vibing to Beyonce's Crazy in Love. The crowd went wild, and Jamie gave a shout out to the electric energy while honoring the late Heavy D. Now, Jamie wasn't just a spectator at Diddy's parties. He also took on the role of teaching the rap mogul how to throw an epic bash on a budget. Jamie's stories of showing Diddy the ropes have become the stuff of legend. In fact, Jamie famously recounted the hilarious tale when he appeared on Stephen Colbert's show. He said he once bet Diddy he could throw a party that would rival Diddy's million-dollar affairs for just $400. While Diddy was skeptical at first, Jamie proved he could deliver, whipping up a night to remember complete with KFC buckets on nice plates and Coca-Cola in pitchers. As Jamie put it, "We are at $28 and we are kinging it right now." But aside from schooling Diddy on budget partying, Jamie also revealed that But Diddy's events were the absolute wildest he'd ever been to. And it wasn't just about the money being thrown around. These parties were allegedly a hotbed for all sorts of crazy behavior, much of it seemingly orchestrated by Diddy himself to live out his fantasies.
Puff and Tupac was like a couple, seemed like to me. It was just a lot of weird shit going on, you know what I'm saying? The vibes ain't there. I guess that's what Tupac was talking about, the Illuminati is.
Fast forward to today, and sources say Diddy and other A-listers are desperately pressuring Jamie to keep his mouth shut about what went down at those parties. But they're allegedly not just using scare tactics. There are reports they're paying out millions in hush money to buy the silence of victims and witnesses. You see, attorney Tony Busby, who reps over 120 victims in a case against Diddy, recently dropped a bombshell. He says he's getting ready to name a bunch of high-profile celebs who were either involved in or helped cover up assaults at Diddy's parties, but before he exposes them, Busby says he's giving them a chance to quietly settle with the victims first. He told TMZ his firm has already reached deals with several big stars. While the public is dying to know names, Busby is taking a careful approach, making sure he has rock-solid evidence to back up every claim before going public. The goal is to avoid false accusations that could cause a media circus. As Busby put it, if you were in the room, participated, watched it happen, and didn't say anything or helped cover it up, in my view, you have a problem. He stressed that he's not just going after the abusers themselves, but also the famous folks who stood by and let it happen. In his words, all of these individuals and entities have exposure. These explosive accusations have sparked rumors of panicked celebs shelling out hush money left and right to keep their names out of the headlines. It's starting to look a lot like previous scandals, where the rich and powerful use their cash and influence to avoid facing any real consequences. And that brings us back to Jamie Foxx. As someone who regularly attended Diddy's parties, Jamie likely witnessed plenty of shady business. But it's not just dirt on Diddy that Jamie is reportedly sitting on. Word on the street is Jamie knows secrets about some of the biggest names in the game, including Beyonce and JayZ. And insiders say the power couple, who carefully crafts a flawless public image, is terrified of what Jamie might reveal, especially when it comes to their own efforts to silence people with threats and payoffs. We all know how fiercely Bey and Jay guard their brand and reputation. Remember what happened with Piers Morgan?
Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored.
For context, Piers shocked everyone when he invited Jaguar Wright onto his show to air out her grievances about the industry's biggest players. And honey, Jaguar did not hold back. She went all the way in, claiming JayZ was involved in some of the most disturbing things happening behind the scenes. Jaguar clearly had an agenda, and Piers gave her the floor to run with it. Things kicked off with Piers asking Jaguar if she feels vindicated now that Diddy is facing legal troubles. But Jaguar made it clear that, for her, this is just the beginning of the reckoning.
Do you feel vindicated by the events of the last few weeks?
No, not at all. Because he's just the beginning.
Jaguar's eyes, Diddy is only the public face of a much deeper culture of abuse and exploitation in the music world. She held nothing back, speaking on her own trauma from over 30 years in the industry. Jaguar shared how her elders warned her about certain power players, but even that couldn't protect her. All these years later, she still battles PTSD. What's even more heartbreaking to Jaguar is seeing history repeat, with younger women coming forward with eerily similar stories of abuse.
You live through these things, you're still suffering the PTSD created by all of this, and you're talking to a victim that's 20 years younger than you, and she's telling you the exact same thing that happened to you.
She pointed out that this cycle of abuse, covered up by the industry's complicit silence, is precisely what makes men like Diddy so dangerous. Jaguar didn't just speak on her own experiences, she also opened up about the toxic culture she witnessed during her time working as a dominatrix before landing a record deal. She described ritualistic practices, women being drugged and discarded, and the scale of misconduct hidden by NDAs and payoffs.
All done under the protection of, this is going to be paid off. There's another NDA. This is going to be, it's terrible.
Right? Jaguar emphasized that people knew, but no one dared speak up. And if they did, they were dismissed. This code of silence, she argued, is how predators like Diddy have operated unchecked for so long. Perhaps most chilling was Jaguar's assertion that Diddy was chosen for this role by powerful figures who wanted to maintain their grip on the black community in entertainment.
People keep looking at him like he's this Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We gotta stop making ditties.
She believes Diddy is staying quiet now, not out of loyalty, but fear. His elite backers still have use for him. But Jaguar predicted Diddy's ego and substance issues will eventually force him to expose his friends to save himself.
His ego and his drug addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not gonna talk is crazy. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it.
When Piers asked if Diddy will implicate others, Jaguar didn't hesitate to say yes. In her mind, he won't have a choice. Diddy's silence, she said, is a temporary shield. The truth will be more disturbing than people can fathom. Now, it's important to note that Jaguar has been calling this out for years, but she was dismissed as a crazy, bitter conspiracy theorist. However, the facts are now lining up with her claims. And let's remember, Jaguar was an industry insider who worked with JayZ directly. She's seen things most only whisper about. So when Jaguar calls Jay the mafia boss pulling strings, it's not a baseless accusation. After that bombshell interview, sources say JayZ's legal team slapped Piers with a cease and desist to stop him from discussing their ties to Diddy's controversies. Some even think Piers was paid off, which would explain his abrupt public apology. Clearly, these celebs will pay any price to bury the truth. But is Jamie Foxx the key to unlocking their hidden secrets? Many fans are convinced Jamie's health scare was no coincidence, but a sinister attempt to muzzle him before he could expose all. While it's only a rumor, some have even pointed fingers at Jay and Bey, claiming they were involved in a poisoning plot to stop Jamie from talking. Obviously, these are serious allegations with no hard proof, but you can't ignore the suspicious timing of Jamie's hospitalization and the deafening silence since. So, loves, the burning question is, will Jamie Foxx break his silence? Will he blow the lid off Diddy's debaucherous parties and the hush money trail? One thing's for sure. Hollywood's biggest stars will be nervously watching their backs, waiting for the next bombshell to drop. As more alleged victims come forward and lawsuits pile up, this could be the Tinseltown scandal to end all scandals. But what do you think? Is Jamie Foxx the whistleblower who will finally expose the industry's dirtiest secrets? Will Diddy's famous friends be forced to face the music? Or will the wealthy and powerful find a way to buy their way out of trouble once again? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more tea on the latest Hollywood scandals, be sure to smash that subscribe button. Until next time, you are watching Hot Gossip. Goodbye. Hot Gossip. Goodbye.